Good evening, I'm Steve Johnson. Be sure to get our app on your smartphone or tablet. You can also watch the Dove on our website or on our Roku channel. Well, from the Dove newsroom at this hour, the Israeli army says its forces shot a Palestinian who tried to stab an Israeli soldier near a sensitive holy site in the West Bank city of Hebron. The army says the stabbing attack took place Monday near a site known to Jews as the Cave of the Patriarchs and to Muslims as the Ibrahimi Mosque, the traditional burial spot of the biblical Abraham and his family. Earlier on Monday, the Israeli military said a Palestinian stabbed and severely wounded an Israeli soldier near Hebron before being shot and killed. Earlier this month, Congress continued federal funding of abortions. However, that has not changed the view of one pro-life activist who's optimistic that funding will end. In Grants Pass for a pro-life fundraiser, Brian Baumberger says action is being taken at the state level throughout the nation to reduce public funding of abortions through Planned Parenthood. He's also confident federal funding will eventually end.
There are some mechanisms that they have with how the continuing resolution to fund the government happens, that they have the opportunity, even with a radically pro-abortion president. There are ways that they can ensure that that the funding doesn't happen. But then there's also an election coming up. So even if it doesn't happen this year, that there is the potential within the next year and a half to 2 years.
Baumberger says that outrage against abortions by the religious community is not as activated as he thinks it should be. He equates it to the silence similar to that seen in the 1960s during the civil rights movement. A Sunday afternoon crash in Klamath County has resulted in the death of a Chiloquin woman. 28-year-old Michelle Rose Cerrito was headed south on Highway 62 in her Toyota Camry when her car was hit by a Volkswagen Jetta turning off a Highway 422. Both vehicles flipped after impact. Cerrito was pronounced dead at the scene. A toddler riding in her car is hospitalized with serious injuries. The other driver, 50-year-old Lisa Ann Child of Bend, is also in the hospital with serious injuries. Well, the authorities arrested 2 Texas men accused of killing a man in southern Oregon last week, and they're now searching for a third suspect. 22-year-old Carol B.J. Ballard and 20-year-old Blake Sibley were booked into the Josephine County Jail on charges of murder and robbery. Police looking now for 23-year-old Marshall McKenna, whose last known address was in Ponder, Texas. Let's take a look now at what we can expect on the weather scene for our area. And for Northern California and Wairika, partly cloudy and 39 tonight, 69 degrees with a chance of rain tomorrow, as well as on Tuesday with a high of 62 for Wednesday. For the Klamath Basin, partly cloudy and 30, 65 tomorrow, 54, and a 70% chance of rain on Wednesday. As we move along the Oregon coastal area, partly cloudy tonight and 47, 67 tomorrow, 62, and a good chance for rain on Wednesday. Moving into the Bend area of Central Oregon, partly cloudy with a low just below freezing, and then tomorrow a high of 61. For Wednesday, 60% chance of rain with a high of 55. And for Southern Oregon, in the Medford, Grants Pass, and Ashland area, partly cloudy and 42, 69 the high expected tomorrow, and there's an increased chance of rain on Wednesday, now up to 80% with a high of 63, lows in the mid to upper 40s. That's news and weather here on the Dove.